Hello everyone, it's Pat with Empowering by Design with a daily oracle card reading and message for Friday, January 28th of 2011. Hey, it's Friday, yay! We're almost at the very end of January as well. Can you believe it? I'm surprised myself, and I'm looking forward to the months ahead. But anyways, for today's card reading, I felt inspired to call on the Saints and Angels card deck for our reading today. And when I shuffled the deck, pardon me, I had a couple cards that came out. And it's very interesting because I don't know if they're related, but I'm going to go with what they came out as. The first one was marriage, and that is Saint Catherine of Alexandria. And she has a Roman background, I believe. And she was someone who, in her life, had a lot of suitors who were after her seeking out marriage. And she made the claim that she only had a mystical marriage to Christ. But she is known in a historical sense. A lot of women would call on her for help finding a good husband. That's the history behind her. So I think this card comes up because we are coming up on the Valentine's Day holiday. And in February, there's a lot of effort and advertising and energy around our committed relationships, or for people who are looking for that type of relationship. So, this card may have several meanings behind it. It may mean that someone new that you've recently met is a soulmate-like partner for you. It could mean congratulations that you're going to be getting married. Maybe there's a surprise coming for you on Valentine's Day. And but it may also, speak to maybe there's some issues that need to be addressed, and kind of in a general, broader way to look at all the relationships in which you feel a responsible commitment to. That is a committed relationship for you. And that can even include work. A lot of people are, quote unquote, married to their work in a lot of ways. So, and it may be time to just re-examine. I find sometimes this card comes up if you need to re-examine your ideas about marriage. Maybe if you've had a rough time with marriage in the past and maybe have developed some issues around it, maybe time to re-examine that. But in either case, do what what feels right to you about it. The other card that came up was move, and this card speaks to it's going out to those out there. It's a confirmation that yes, there is a move for you to a new place of residence, maybe a different location. It is coming up. It's a confirmation of that. And, whatever worries or concerns that you may have about that, because I know anytime people talk about moving, there's kind of a collective groan, like, oh, because moving is such a big endeavor. Whether you're moving to a completely different location or just a different residence within the same town, it's always something that conjures up, because it's just such a huge endeavor. But this card, it's got the rainbow coloring in it. Isn't it beautiful? But it's a reminder to surrender the concerns that you have about moving, whether it's finding a place you can afford, whatever those concerns may be. How am I going to do all this? It's going to take so much time and energy to move. It's surrendering all those cares and worries that we have about it to the angels and asking for their help and intervention with it. Even the fairies are good to call upon for geographical changes or any kind of inclination that you may have, or help with moving, I should say. This card also speaks to you yourself moving more, like as in getting more exercise. So if you were someone who made that New Year's commitment to, or a resolution, I should say, to exercise more, and it's starting to peter out now, it's a reminder to stay committed to that and stay moving. It's important every day to get out and move. And I know the angels have been urging me every day, even with the being blanketed with snow and the cold temperatures that we've had here in New England, at least for us. They have been urging me to get outside every day and walk, not only for exercise, but to stay connected to nature. And I actually have a third card for us today, which comes from a deck that I have not used on YouTube before. And this is a deck called the Medicine Cards. It is by Jamie Sams, I believe, is the one who created these. Jamie Sams and David Carson. And this is a wonderful deck of animal type cards. And I know medicine is a term that a lot of Native tribes, Native American tribes use to be what you learn from that person's or that animal's energy. They call it medicine. And so this card deck is full of animals and what we learn from their medicine and what they have to teach us. So when I pulled from this card deck today, it's one that I used a long time ago, and I haven't used it in quite a long time. And I've been watching many card readers out there with the Earth Magic cards, and I love them, but I don't have that deck, although I will get it at some point in time soon. But this is the next best thing for me. And the card that came up was Dragonfly, which is really about being connected to nature and staying connected to nature. Paying attention to the plants and the pets around you, but it's also about the winds of change. Dragonfly is obviously it's an animal that they flit in and out. They're often around water, and they have those beautiful iridescent wings that are practically invisible as they're flying around. You don't really see them until they land on a rock or land on you, which I always find to be a very special experience when dragonflies land on me. But the message with dragonfly is almost very similar to the one we get when we see butterflies come up. It's not quite the same. Butterfly has to do with going into a cocoon and coming out transformed. But dragonfly also has to do with transformation in the sense of paying attention to the changes that you need to make in your life. And with this month of January and the 1/11/11 and all the ones, we've been working on trying to manifest a lot of changes in our life. And maybe you've wanted to make some personal ones, like those New Year's resolutions where you commit to getting in shape or getting fit, and this is an urging to stay committed to making those changes, because healthy changes is always like a divinely inspired change. It brings us when we're urged to take care of our body better through exercise, or maybe going to a new location that feels better to us. The benefit that we get out of that is an increased energy and joy and enjoyment of life. So it's important to keep being persistent and tending to those changes. All right, have a great Friday, everyone, and I look forward to talking with you soon.